Oh, welcome to the second video I'm actually making today. This wants to go straight out because this is the test actually to see that all the new equipment is working correctly. But I already made one before I do the test. Yeah. Me's dangling, we always do different. Map is Old Ridge on FS15. And this is Old Ridge original. Well, I say original, it's not really, because I've got rid of a few trees and got ready to combine these two fields, but it's got soil mod on. That was almost a must for me. I'm attempting now to get this straw done. That's all I'm going to do today. I won't do all that on screen. This is really just to chat a bit about the PC. What a show off, that's all it is. This is a new build, custom built. I normally build my own, but I just couldn't be bothered. Yeah, so I've got a little bit like that of recent times. And I thought it's got to be almost as cheap, not as cheap, but obviously to have someone build it for me, and I've got someone to blame if things don't work. But I had a lot of fun with this. Not with the build. No, there's nothing at all wrong with the build. It's done by a company called PC Specialist. I'd never used them before. I'm going to come out of the cab with it and just draw back a little bit. Whoa, don't really want that on. I could have done this on Courseplay, but decided against. Don't ask me why, but that's because I'm an idiot, I think. It's a bit easy on Courseplay. Alright. Yeah, it's built by a company called PC Specialist up in Wakefield. That's up for me anyway, Yorkshire. It seems to have done a nice job actually. Get quite a menu of bits you can have added. I think every country's got its own builders like this. Well, I know we've got several in Britain, but it's just the one that caught my eye. No other reason. So if I picked the wrong, and that's my fault. I didn't do the research. But the quick run through the spec, this is an AMD chipped machine CPU. I happen to like AMD. I know not everybody's cup of tea. If you want absolute per speed, you go for an Intel. But an Intel with the same sort of, roughly the same speed, has cost quite a bit more. Okay, I say an Intel with the same speed, it wouldn't have more speed, because they tend to. But this is quite quick enough for me. It's a, let's get this right, the Ryzen 7 is it? 28000X is the chip, is the CPU. The one I've noticed that PC Gamer recommends for their own high-end build. I used the same board as well, the Asus Strict board. I have to like Asus stuff. I very rarely had anything go wrong. In fact, the other one's the first one I had any problems with, and that was with the USB port, as you well know, the USB bus is well known. But they're still working, the other one. At the moment is rendering the first video of the day away. What else we get? Oh yes, graphics. Well, it's a NVIDIA. I've always had NVIDIA. Almost, well, not entirely, because when I first started, because there wasn't separate graphics cards on PCs. The Evesham I had, I think it had one, but it was, I think all are about 1 megabyte. No, I don't think it's 1 megabyte. It might have been 1 kilobyte of extra power just for graphics. Wowee! I go with that, man. Then I got into 3D things, the Voodoo's cards. Anybody remember the Voodoo's? Voodoo 2 was quite a decent card, actually. I think the 3 killed the company. It wasn't that good. I think NVIDIA took them over in the end. So from the first one I built myself, which would be about my third PC. I had Sinclairs before that. Oh, that'd do there. That'd do nicely. I had Sinclairs before, you know, the ZX81, the ZX Spectrum. Actually, 3 different Spectrums. Then Atari, and then I had an Elysium built PC, proper desktop. That done me quite well. P75 in there. Oh, such power. Pentium 75. Then I really pushed the boat. I went to Dabs for a P200. Actually, I think that's a P220. I think there was an extra one came out just before I ordered it. And that sort of chip I chose, or the CPU I chose. With that one, I actually upgraded myself later on to an AMD 400. That was interesting. And from then on, I built about 6 for myself over the years, and about another 3 for my wife. You know, my wife always comes second when it comes to PCs. Well, anyway, get back to the spec on this. This has got a GTX 2080 Ti. And it's not one of the big name ones. It's Palette or the other cheaper. Basically, because they're that much cheaper than the Asus. And I would have liked an Asus, but it's going to push the price up by almost £500 more. Out of the question. Oh yes, the CPU cooling is done by Cooler Master, water cooled. It's the cheap end of their market, but it's the double fan one. I'm not looking to overclock, so I'm not really want ultimate cooling. I just want something which will keep a constant temperature when it's running. RAM. No, I'm funny about RAM. I go for more RAM rather than fast RAM. I've never managed to tell the difference, and I have tried in the past, between so-called fast gaming RAM and ordinary RAM. I just cannot see the difference. There may be a frame or two difference, but not enough to warrant paying out that extra. So I just got ordinary Corsair, 32 gig of it. Yes. Go for power, mate. No, forget power. Go for size. You cannot beat size. Some people say size doesn't matter, but I think in RAM it certainly does. The more you have, the better it'll be, within reason. Hard drives, well, there's a lot of hard drives there. I always fill up hard drives. I'm a magpie. I see a program, I keep it. I just had to break my heart by not installing all my Steam games. I can't see myself playing half of them. So I've got a 2 terabyte SSD primary drive, which has my Windows on and the Steam games on, and not too much else. And it's already half full. And then I got, well, my last one, which I built myself, I had a 500 gig primary drive SSD again, 2 terabyte conventional drives, and I found another SSD which came out of the previous computer, so that went in, and that wasn't enough, so I also had 2 external drives. Yes, I'm drive mad. Now this time I've gone for 2 4 terabyte conventional drives as storage and some games, because some games don't need all the disk swapping and such like. Oh, they're not a high speed type game where you need to be able to change things over quickly. This is what I find. So that's the drives taken care of. I'm just trying to think. Oh, monitors. Well, I was going to use the 2 monitors I had, but the primary monitor was failing. I'm still using it at the moment. And my secondary was a BenQ. I'm never buying another BenQ. I had that about 3 years. It's always been used on the DivVid port, you know, the older port for graphics. Never used it on HDMI or display port. Never had to. It didn't have a display port on, but it had an HDMI on. Actually, I thought, oh great. Oh, I bought a new one. Just swallow this up. I bought a new one to go with my primary. And I plugged them both in after I got some cables which I clean forgot about because I still used to using DivVids, yeah, the old port. Might not be quite the right name, but that's how I think of it. So I plugged them in once I got them. The new primary drive monitor worked perfectly. The only say 3-year-old drive wouldn't work on the port, but it's too old to send back. So that does mean that the BenQ won't get customized. I use the Alarmas mainly. The one that came off was the Alarma, and that was, well, this would have been its third computer. I bought it new, I think, to do with 2 ago. I went right through the life of the last one. I do. And they seem to be quite reliable. Huh? They're not bad price, and they work. I'm not going for real top speed or resolution. All I want about it is, as you see here, 60 frames, constant. That's all I want. So I had to buy another monitor. I got no Alarm. I got one model up from the one I originally had come with the new PC. And it's a lovely beast. I'm really pleased with it. But that's how it's gone up to date. So far I think I got most of the recording gear right, and this is really what this is for, to see. But if it isn't right, I can tell you now there's going to be one that comes up anyway, which won't have been played around with to get it right. Oh, this takes me back. Oh, look at this. Farming on Old Ridge. I will be using the Courseplay to plough this, by the way. I am not ploughing this all by hand. The trick here, by the way, if anybody wants to join a field like this and you want to use Courseplay to do it, well, first of all, you actually plough about 2 or 3 furrows this end between the two and the other end to make certain there's no gaps. Then you can use it as one field, and Courseplay will be perfectly happy to do it all for you. Oops, jumping out of the vehicle. Let's say this is just a little test, so I think we will leave it here. Any comments, questions, queries, and the rest of the baloney, feel free to post them in the comment section, especially on how it looks and how the sound is, because I'm still using OBS for pictures and Audacity for sound files, but the latest up-to-date versions and the settings. There's extra settings in there, and settings which I was expecting have gone missing. You know the type of thing, anyway, it's cool. You know what happens. You've all been there. I don't remember where the hell this goes. Goes near the beef station, so I'm gonna go this way, I think. Oh, actually, we can save a little bit by going up here. trying to remember all the shortcuts. Yeah. Wait, we'll just finish this off when I get to the other end and start tipping this. Remember this is where the shower was, which I wasn't allowed to go to. So I've done the whole thing outside here. The Crawford Browns. Well, at least they're sorted out in prison now. I still love that series. One of the best things I've ever done, I think, that series. That and the Gambler series. Now, the Gambler is one I particularly like. It shouldn't have worked, and I had to fall short on it because I think 17 had come out. I think I'd done it on 15. 17 was just about to come out. So I shortened it down by a couple of 3 episodes. I don't think it mattered too much. And that stopped people getting bored. I enjoyed that. Anyway, we're here. Q went on there. Yeah. Alright. Well, so any comments, questions, queries, especially about the quality or lack of it, feel free to post them. With that, it's Merman saying cheerio for now. Cheerio.